I've never tried The Sims 4 or any other Sims related game, which is weird since the house customization of that game is right up my alley. It even went free to play a few years ago, so I don't really have an excuse for not trying it earlier. But that doesn't matter anymore because I finally downloaded the game to check it out for the first time. Jumping right into it, I had to start by creating my own sim. You may wonder, how could one even begin to create a whole human being with a complex personality? Is it even possible to just create a person when you and me only became ourselves because of years of experiences, relationships, hardship? We simply answer a multiple choice quiz. In the beginning I had to answer simple questions like my age, but the further I got, the weirder these questions became. Well, the questions were still kind of normal, I guess, but the answers I could pick weren't. I mean, yeah, these are some very normal activities one might enjoy during the evenings. Stargazing, watching TV, plotting my next move. Why is that so ominous? What could I possibly be plotting? Am I gonna rob someone? Actually, that's kind of foreshadowing. Well, after answering the final question, I got to customize my sim, which was actually really fun. I spent like half an hour customizing him and picking out different outfits for every occasion that could possibly exist. Seriously, I had to create like 8 unique outfits. Which doesn't sound like that much now that I say it out loud, but it still took a long time. Finally, I named him, after myself. After buying his first home, the first thing my sim did was to watch this old lady's cook show, which I got way too invested in myself. Anyway, so what exactly am I supposed to do in this game? That is honestly a good question. Since my sim had 3 days off work, there wasn't that much to do. That changed, however, when I finally spotted another person outside. Being the inspired social guy I am, I kindly introduced myself to, what was his name? Travis Scott. He does look a little different from what I remember, but I invited him inside so we could chat about all the stuff people usually talk about when getting to know each other. Like, you know, property values, or the neighborhood changes, or the neighborhood I've moved to less than 5 hours ago. After bonding with Travis for a while, the rest of the neighborhood showed up to welcome me, which was pretty nice, even though they did place my plates onto the floor. But everyone has their quirks, right? The way bigger offense is how the person that designed my home decided that these are the best spots to place my TV and the dining table. Thank God the TVs in this game are wireless, because otherwise you would not only have a huge tripping hazard, but one with a pretty big price tag attached. The rest of the weekend was pretty eventful too. I, for example, found out that I seem to live next to the LA River. And while I've only ever visited that place in GTA 5, this version seems a bit nicer than the one in LA, and it's probably also less toxic. A day after meeting her at my welcome party, Liberty came over to hang out, though I feel we don't seem to get along too well. I don't know, maybe it's just her kicking over my trash can, or the fact we bashed us girls for an impressively long amount of time. But whatever disagreement we had seems to have been settled since we shared dinner after all of that. How nice. Never mind. After, well, whatever that was, it was time for my sim to go to work. I honestly wasn't too interested in the line of work he was participating in, but after I saw what he changed into before going off, I suddenly just really had to know. I learned that he works as a ringleader, and right after that I learned that a ringleader is a leader of a group of people, especially one involved in illicit activities. So he's a thief. I guess that answers what me plotting my next move was all about. After getting home from my job of just straight up robbing people, I told Travis that he should not hook up with Liberty after he asked me for relationship advice. Because 1, she beat me up, 2, she did it again, and 3, I'm really scared of her on the grounds of reason 1 and 2. The next few days were pretty uneventful, until one night when I was off at work. What are they looking at? What oh my God. This robber just walked in, stole an entire stove, toilet and my bed, managing to fit it all into this bag, and then lightly jogged away. I can't even be mad at that. This woman is openly breaking all laws of physics. How can I expect her to follow something as insignificant in comparison as basic social etiquette? Nevertheless, I swore to myself that someday I will get my revenge. Turns out that I didn't have to wait quite as long to plan it, as she, the woman that robbed me of 3 of my most prized possessions, just showed up on my doorstep and acted like nothing happened. This could be the start of my revenge, however. I could gain her trust by being nice to her, and then when she least expects it, guess I'll have to think of a different plan. In hopes of a different revenge opportunity opening up in the future, I stopped focusing on all of that and instead tried to get promoted by leveling up my mischief skill. I didn't know that being mischievous was a skill, but I guess this is a world where being just a little silly is enough qualification to work as a full-time burglar, so what do I know? After getting promoted a few times, I finally had to choose what I wanted to do next. I had two options to choose from, the boss path or the oracle path. The boss path would make a whole lot of money, while the oracle path might allow me to steal money from my neighbors. Most normal people would probably just take the extra money, which is fair, that's probably the smart decision. But I still had somebody to get revenge on. I started to learn coding right away, as I now also work as a hacker, I guess. Going to the library every day, even sleeping there. Don't know why he did that, it was totally unnecessary. I even started to level up my athletic skills. Not because I really had to, but because I was kinda sick of just being in the library every day. I also slept in the gym, for some reason. I guess my sim just has a special skill that lets him fall asleep in very loud and uncomfortable public spaces. A few days after I started leveling my skills, I got invited to Trevor's birthday party. It was nice, I presume. I mean, my sim spent the entire time playing this medieval video game. Actually, everyone spent the birthday playing video games. This guy wasn't celebrating a birthday party, he just opened up his own arcade. I did spot the woman that robbed me earlier outside, so I instinctively tried pickpocketing her, which did not work, but I did prank her by electrocuting her. Not exactly how I pictured my revenge, and she did end up finding it funny, for some reason. The next day was actually my birthday, so I decided to throw a party myself. I had to finish tasks like blowing out candles, having drinks, listening to the stereo. I even hired a caterer, so you can see that I went all out. After the party was over, I got a silver medal for it. Why are we ranking birthday parties with medals? And why is mine only silver? Sorry I didn't listen to the music hard enough, I guess. Anyways, after that admittedly pretty cool distraction, I got back to grinding, visiting the library to use their computers, to hack the mainframe and a few trust funds, to level my programming skills, and to make a little money on the side as well. No idea how he manages to do this in a public library and not be instantly caught, but maybe he's just that good. I mean, I've never hacked before, so what do I know? Since there wasn't much going on at this part of my playthrough, I'll just skip through the most interesting parts. I almost burnt down my house, I watched Travis awkwardly dance in my living room, I met the burglar woman in the library, tried pickpocketing her a second time, it didn't work. And I accidentally broke the library computer. But finally, after a lot of work, my sim finally got promoted to the big leagues, making 130 simoleons an hour. But his house didn't really reflect it. Don't get me wrong, I like it. I think it's pretty cute as far as starter houses go, at least if we ignore the TV situation. But it was just time for something new. So I sat down for a while to create a house my sim could truly call home. And here it is! For a first attempt I'm actually kind of proud of it, and it has everything one could need. A cute kitchen and living area, including an awesome dinosaur rug. And honestly, not much bigger bathroom. This one is probably smaller than the one in the starter house. And finally a nice bedroom, though it is possible for everyone to watch you sleep, because I forgot to add curtain. But I did add a burglar alarm, so my toilet should finally be safe. All in all, my sim has a pretty good life now. I mean, he has a well-paying job, a nice place to call home, awesome friends. There's just one little thing he still has to sort out. Honestly, yeah, that's good enough. This is probably the best I can get in terms of revenge.